Where do you see yourself in 5 years? That question is a difficult question for most job candidates to answer. I know when I've interviewed people, and I've hired hundreds and interviewed at least 10 times that many, that's a question that I always have asked. And I ask it knowing that most candidates don't know where they're going to be at in 2 or 3 years, let alone in 5 years. I also know that most job candidates, when they answer that question, they may give me an answer that they think I want to hear. But I still ask that question, and most interviewers will ask that question too. And there's some very good reasons that they do that. What I'll do in this video is I'm going to tell you why that question is asked, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my very best answer, my very best sample answer to that question. That is up next, right here on Over 50 TV. Before I tell you how to answer the interview question, where do you see yourself in 5 years, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to Over 50 TV. If you're looking for career advice, if you are looking for interview tips, job search news, subscribe to our channel. All you've got to do to subscribe is to hit the little red button. It's underneath the screen. There's also a little bell. If you hit the little bell, you'll get our latest updates and they'll be delivered right to your inbox. And there is a thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button because that lets me know that you are enjoying our channel. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you how to answer the interview question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Before the break, I promised that I would tell you how to answer the interview question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But first, what I want to do is I want to tell you a couple reasons why an interviewer will ask that question. And again, going back to what I said previously, an interviewer will know, or think anyway, that more often than not, the response they get is a response that's not as candid as maybe it could be. They may be thinking this guy or this woman's going to tell me what they think I want to hear, or they're also going to be thinking, hey, how does this person really know where they're going to be at in 5 years? It's a total guess. But let me tell you, despite the challenges of asking the question, or despite the challenges of getting a real accurate answer, the question is going to be asked. And more often than not, an interviewer asks it for these two reasons. Number one, they want to make sure that the person who is interviewing for the position is really committed to the position. They want to make sure that they're not a job hopper. They want to make sure that the person they're sitting across from isn't looking for a quick solution to an unemployment problem. And they also want to make sure that the person that they're talking to, the person they're interviewing, isn't just there taking this position, waiting for the next best offer. So they want to make sure, number one, that these things are not true. Number two, what they're looking for is they are looking for someone who really is committed to that particular job. And let me give you an example what I mean by that. I know when I was interviewing people for, let's just say, a job in the office, in one of my offices, I'm looking for a person who has the skills that I need. Now, sometimes, and I would tell you more often than you would guess, I was surprised that I would get people who just wanted to get their foot in the door. They'd interview for an office clerical position with the idea that even though they didn't have the experience to be in the editing staff of one of my newspapers, or they didn't have the sales experience or the production experience that I needed, they wanted to get their foot in the door, so they would take any position just to do that. I knew that they would eventually be bored, they wouldn't like what they're doing, and they would eventually quit if they didn't get a promotion or get the position that they really, really wanted. So when I'm interviewing someone and an interviewer is interviewing someone, they do want to make sure that that person is interviewing for that position that they're there for. So from my perspective and the perspective of all hiring managers, they know that interviewing somebody is time intensive. You're going through resumes, sometimes dozens of resumes, maybe even more than that. You're interviewing people, you're spending lots of your valuable time in the interview process. So you want to make sure that you are getting the right, or you're hiring the right person. So yeah, asking some questions like, Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Maybe that question may not make a lot of sense to the person who's sitting across from them, but to the hiring manager, every little edge, everything that they can ask, any little hint that this person isn't going to work out, they want to find that out. So listen, whether you're 50 years old, whether you're over 50, whether you're under 50, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you the best way to answer the interview question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? The sample answer that I'm going to give you is actually for a sales position, but it can be tailored to virtually any position. In the first year, I will strive to completely understand our product, the sales process, and our customer. I want to make sure I know the product benefits and our customers inside and out, while at the same time meeting sales expectations. In the years that follow, I guarantee I will do my best to be a key salesperson you can depend on. I'll lend my expertise and offer help whenever it's necessary. And when the time comes, I'll assume more leadership roles. So this answer in its entirety shows 4 different things. Number 1, it shows that you are focused on the position. Number 2, it shows that you have some clear goals. You know exactly what you want. You are also willing to help and give value. And number 4, and I think this is pretty important, is you show that you are willing and able to come in right away and meet expectations. So as I mentioned, this answer to me can be tailored to virtually any position, and truly it can be applied at for whatever age you are. If you're over 50, if you're under 50, what you're saying here, and generally what you're saying here, is that you're going to come in and just do a great job for them, and you're focused on that particular position. So listen, that's all I have for you today. I hope I was able to help you. Again, if you are interested in career advice, if you want interview tips, job search news, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. All you've got to do is hit that little red button. It's underneath the screen. There's a little bell. If you hit that little bell, you'll get our latest updates and they'll be delivered right to your inbox. There is also a thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button because that lets me know that you are getting value from our channel. So, as I always say, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have a great day, everybody.